What we think we know about lives of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and questioning, LGBTQ, youth in schools is not always accurate, according to research highlighted in a newly released special edition of the Journal of the American Educational Research Association. This post reveals some of the important takeaways in the special edition, and you can read it yourself, from links at the bottom. It was written by Joseph R. Simpian is an associate professor of economics and education policy at New York University's Steinhardt School of Culture, Education, and Human Development and an affiliated associate professor of public service at NYU's Wagner Graduate School of Public Service. Carolyn Harrington is a professor of educational policy at the College of Education at Florida State University and director of the Educational Policy Center at FSU. By Joseph R. Simpian and Carolyn D. Harrington. The American Educational Research Association just released a special issue of its journal Educational Researcher on the topic of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and questioning, LGBTQ, youth in education. The special issue explores a range of timely topics, such as LGBTQ homelessness and student-led groups for LGBTQ youth, and it includes a diversity of research approaches. The latest research on youth who identify as LGBTQ provides some key insights into what we know and, perhaps more important, what we think we know but don't actually know about LGBTQ youth. Here we discuss some of these insights. LGBTQ youth are extremely diverse. There is not a typical set of life experiences that characterizes all LGBTQ youth. While that may not surprise some readers, LGBTQ youth are often perceived as having similar experiences and attitudes, and a significant portion of the research conducted uses practices that overlook their diversity. First, many studies focus on average outcomes for LGBTQ youth broadly, ignoring, for instance, differences between average outcomes for lesbian youth and bisexual youth. Also, grouping together LGBTQ and T into a single average estimate can conflate sexual identity with gender identity. Second, a focus on averages tends to ignore the vast differences within groups. For example, focusing on the fact that gay youth report thoughts of suicide more often than heterosexual youth can obscure the fact that, while some gay youth experience these thoughts frequently, many never do. Third, describing average experiences ignores nuances in how sexuality and gender identity intersect with other characteristics, such as race or disability. Fourth, research using samples of individuals who are relatively convenient to access, for example, college students, may not reflect the full range of LGBTQ youth circumstances, such as homelessness. Capturing this diversity is critical in helping schools to serve the entire LGBTQ youth population rather than just a subset, and to recognize whether segments of that population have special needs. Finally, some research suggests that LGBTQ youth are so diverse in their experiences and in how they identify. Some prefer the term gay, others queer, and others SQ labels altogether, that we need to be more students bisexual and gender identity. This is not to suggest that sexual and gender identities don't exist or aren't often helpful for schools when trying to serve the needs of the LGBTQ population, but rather that we should accept that each child is unique and has a unique story.